Okay, Chef Benson, could you kindly introduce the creams now?
Okay, thank you, Mercy. Our viewers, here with Mercy from Tropolite outlet, that is Top Serve.
Yes.
So actually Top Serve sells our products. This is also Tropolite product, which is actually the non-dairy whipping cream. It is really 100% non-dairy. So for the vegetarians and those who don't take animal products, this is one of the best products you need to use in your cakes, so that you can also enjoy cakes like the rest of the people. So Mercy,
Yeah.
this is our white whipping cream. We call it premium whipping cream, and just to add on it, I think we are the only brand with the chocolate whipping cream, which we call Choco Whip.
Yes.
So this is a chocolate whipping cream, which is also 100% non-dairy, and if I may say vegetarian. So
Chef, I can see it's frozen. It's a bit.
yes, it is frozen. So
Why is the reason for that?
if we say frozen, there are a lot of creams in the market, and frozen brands, perhaps we have like 2 or 3, although most of them have actually failed to maneuver in the markets due to probably storage, the mode of transport. Since if it's frozen, then it means that you are not supposed to break the cold chain. That is what we call, you keep it in the right temperatures. You're not supposed to break the cold chain. So the means of transport is one difficult thing, because to get a frozen substance to a different location from a different location means a lot, because of the temperatures on the way, the room temperatures, the sun and all that.
Now that we are saying about temperatures and
Yes.
transporting it,
Yes.
let me say I'm buying it from Nairobi and I'm going to Nakuru. By the time I get home, I think it will have melted a bit.
Yes.
So what like the time frame before it
Time frame
completely
and
liquid?
okay, if I may say, to start from this Tropolite cream, the reason for freezing it, one is that we would not wish to use a lot of preservative chemicals in our creams, because as we do production, we also research on health factors whenever you are taking our products. So we try as much as possible to reduce the chemical components within our products. So we preserve it by freezing. And due to some of the binding agents used in it, if you put it at room temperature, the cream will tend to solidify. So that is why it is frozen. But it's one of the healthiest creams in terms of a reduced nutritional value. So if I may say, if you buy this cream in the morning and move around with it within like 8 hours,
Yes.
there is no issue. You will still use it very well. What is there is only one thing. So long as it's not open, it is safe. Once you get your destination or into your house or your bakery location, just if it's completely thawed, just refreeze it. You put in the fridge to get it cold so that you can whip. If you're not using it immediately, place it back in the freezer until the time you want to use it. So it is still safe. There are no issues.
So if, let me say I don't have a
Freezer.
or a freezer. If I buy this and I'm going to Nakuru after 8 hours have passed, right? And I'm not going to use it right away. Will there be any problem of me leaving it at room temperature and then whipping it later?
Okay, it is not advisable since it should actually be stored frozen. It won't expire, but it will solidify because of the contents that which are inside. So it is always advisable to keep it refrigerated.
Does it have a time frame before it solidifies, before it gets to room temperature, to the point that, because people usually freeze them, they put it in the fridge before you use your whipping creams, right? And then you can whip it and then it gets to stability.
Yes.
Will there be any reason if you just use it right away without doing anything else?
Yeah, it's possible. You can use it. How I understand your question. Okay, if you want to whip...
Go to 12 hours instead of...
After whipping?
No, before.
Before whipping?
Yes.
At room temperature? No, maximum is 8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours. Although, it might depend on the weather condition. If it's on a rainy season or it's on the cold, what do you call it? Cold season. Yes, that one may not affect it much. You might even carry it for 14 hours since it's not exposed to high heat. So that is an advantage over it. But if you are within Nairobi, like your shop, the top serve within Nairobi, yes. I understand that bakers who are within Nairobi will buy from your shop, yes. And then the distances to where they are living is not beyond 100 kilometers. So that one is very much applicable. You will buy it frozen. Before you are in your house, it's cold but not frozen. So it's good for your whipping. That one is very much okay, because like now this one, what time is it now? And this was out of the freezer by around 6 a.m. It's 1:15. So how many hours are those? Around 5. And still it's cold, like you can feel it. It was in the sink, it wasn't in the fridge. It's still cold. This can go for 3 more hours. So once it's completely not cold, it's when you are required to put it in the fridge to get it cold so that you can whip. And that is a principle in all creams. Even if a cream is from a room temperature, you need to put it in a place where it will get cold, then you whip. That is the general principle. Okay. So it's still the same thing. Actually, the difference between the creams on shelf and the frozen cream is that they go in opposite directions. Ours from frozen, that is Tropolite, to room temperature, where it will thaw into liquid form but cold. The others from the shelf is a bit warm according to room temperature, so you'll need to cool them, and then once you cool them, that is when you whip. So ours is from frozen to cold temperature, but theirs is from shelf to cold temperature. Okay. So actually the whipping position is one. There's no difference. Okay. And I'm sure you have branches all over. So it means that the cream is locally available within the country.
That's true.
So you don't need to purchase the cream from Top Serve in Nairobi, and yet we have a Top Serve in Nakuru. Purchase from Nakuru and get you to a distance which is a radius of 100 kilometers. You'll be well put.
Let me say I purchased it from Nakuru, and then it's already frozen, right?
Yes.
And then I go with it home. Well, how long should I wait for it to thaw so that I can use it? Does it like 3 hours or the time it takes for it to become?
Not really. It depends on how urgent you want to whip it.
If I need it urgently,
you just place it in a basin of water at room temperature, not hot water. Not hot water. Mark that.
Water,
just water at room temperature. Immerse it inside and give it like probably 15-20 minutes. Then your cream will be okay. If you need it a bit faster than that, like 3-5 minutes, where you open the frozen cream, and since it's solid, you press the packet a bit to crack the ice inside, then open it, pour it on an open bowl, then try to use the hand whisk to break it down. Then place this bowl on the normal temperature water. It will get to thaw a bit faster than when it's solid like this. So it's easier to use it, and since it's cold, you get the best of a cream out of it. Yeah.
Let me say, okay, I buy the cream, I go just pour it without shaking, and then later on I find out, oh, I didn't shake it. Can I just shake the other mixture and then add it to whatever I was whisking? Okay,
that is one way, although not very much effective. You only need to mix the whole cream. You'd rather pour the whole cream, then use a whisk to stir it completely, then return whatever content you want to return, then you remain with the rest. That is why it is advisable. Generally to all creams, make sure you shake it, whether horizontally, upright, even upside down, to make sure that all the ingredients mix up before you pour your cream. That is very important. So next, we go to the next. Yeah. Now, the other option is to whip the whole cream, Then use the portion you want to use, and the rest use these ice cream containers or plastic containers. Put your whipped cream into the container and close it tightly. If you are to use the cream within a week, put it in the fridge. It will still be okay. If you are using it like probably next month or after 2 weeks, freeze it like an ice cream. Then when you want to use it, put it outside, let it thaw. Then just whip it a bit and use your cream. It will be okay.
Or does it have a particular shelf life you're supposed to use the whipped cream at?
Not really, that depends on your storage. Yes, because this is non-dairy, but like other creams, even the dairy creams, your storage determines the longevity of the cream. Top Serve is one of the best retailing shop for cake products, all of them. Yeah, they have all the brands. They have almost, 100% everything.
True,
actually, I've been to your shop. I've bought a lot of things from there, like these ones, like the silicone molders, the piping bags, the nozzles, even the mixers are there, the turntables are there, the boards are there. I've seen, actually it's a one-stop shop. So you get there and purchase everything, whatever you want, then you go with your package home and do your cake. It's that simple, and that is why I like you people. It is really a good shop. And then the branches have necessitated our supply of the things like the cream, whereby one will not use to buy a frozen cream from Nairobi to a far end, yet you have a branch shop from the other side. You get it from there and it is easy for you to use. So thank you for that. Yeah. So as I was saying, you can use a wire whisk and a glass bowl like this one. Then you pour your cream and then you whisk it. Once you whisk it, it will take you like probably 7 to 10 minutes and your cream is set. So you can use it.
Particular speed because you're using your hand?
Okay, it depends on your power with the hand. But whichever way you do it, eventually it will set and you'll have your cream in solid form. Yeah, so if it's me, I would not say 7 minutes. It might take me even 2 minutes and the cream is ready since I'm used to doing it very well. So for that matter, to save time, let's use the mixer. And if people need the mixers, I hope you have them in your stocks from different brands.
I'm one of the people who uses the hand whisk.
You? Yes. Oh, that is good, and it's good for your, is it practice or gym? You make your hands stronger when you use it. Yeah. So our cream is thawed and it's cold. So as you can see the way it is, and I've told you that it's 100% non-dairy. You can still see that it has some fragments of ice because of the frozenness. So I prefer pouring the whole packet, even if I'm not using the whole cream. Then I whip it together because I'll have all the ratios of ingredients together. Then after this, once I do my cake, if I have my kids in the house, I can do a dessert with the rest of the cream. I can do an ice cream, homemade, with the remaining ice cream and with the remaining cream, and I store it in my freezer. So later on, they can have their whatever, they can enjoy themselves. If I have to do a cake like next week and I have the other remaining cream, I just put it in an ice cream container, close it tightly and put it in my freezer. Then when the time comes I want to do a cake, I remove it, thaw it when it's already whipped, then I just whip it a bit with the wire whisk and use it on the cake. And I store this cream for sure like 3 months in the freezer when it is whipped, and I have never seen any shortcomings with it. So I'm not speaking because I am presenting them, I'm speaking from my part of experience since I use the same cream. So as you can see, I don't know if it has shown the level of where it is through the coldness. It's somewhere here. This is the level where the cream is. Yes. So if we whip the cream, the volume will rise up to almost somewhere here. That means it will have more than three and a half, actually about 3.5 times in volume. So you'll have the cream raise in terms of volume, and you will find that you can do like 3 cakes and have some remainders. Yeah, so in terms of volume, it is giving you what actually you deserve. Yes, 3 times actually and above. It's above 3 times.
So it can do a 6 kg cake?
Yeah, very well. Very well. Very well. there are different stages of the cream in terms of stabilizing. So if you want the soft one, it's already mature and soft.
How long should you whip it to get to that stage?
Okay, time doesn't matter. You just whip until you get such a texture. This can go beyond this. So it depends on the may I call it consistency or softness that which you want with the cream. So if you want it more stable, you can still whip it a bit. Yeah, sometimes it happens that you find a cream whereby if you over whip, then the cream becomes too solid and crumbs, such that you cannot even spread it with a palette knife. So with this one specifically, I have not done with others. With the Tropolite cream, it is advisable that you can put some cold water or cold milk, a bit of it, then you whip it a bit. It will come back to the same texture.
Can you do a combination of whipping cream and fondant? Like
People
when you're stuck in your...
Okay, people have been using, although it is actually supposed to be used on a cake that which is not taking too long to be consumed. Like within 2 days is okay, no problem, but it's more advisable you use non-dairy cream. Don't use the fresh cream or the dairy cream because it will ferment.
Yes.
Yes.
Because I saw some bakers saying, no, you're not. Don't use whipping cream when you're using fondant. That's why.
That used to be the standard measures, but now people have just mixed up everything, and people want to do their own unique things. So we cannot block them from using the same. It's only that if you are using fondant and your cake has a dent somewhere, you cannot balance it with the fondant because the cream will eventually become soft and your fondant will not have the original shape. Even if you freeze it, once it's out of the freezer, the cream will soften and your fondant will tend not to take the shape you wanted. So buttercream is more advisable in such cakes. Yes, you can also use jam if your handwork for trimming is good. You can do jams. They are also okay. Yeah. So our cream is ready, and like I have told you, this is the soft peaks now. And if I can whip it a bit further, if I want it a bit more stable.
Can I add sugar?
Not really. You don't need, because our cream already has sugar with it. Yes. So there is nothing. It's only buy and whip. That is it. So now. If you see that cream, and if I may demonstrate to you on the qualities of the cream, as you can see, this cannot fall, so it's that stable and soft in application. It will also give you that mouthfeel like an ice cream. Yes. And another thing, this non-dairy cream blends with almost every type of flavor in the market. And because of that, most flavors are chemically produced, and according to principles, they are supposed to go through heat so that they can become edible. That is why if you put a flavor in the cake, you bake the cake, and then once it's out, then it's actually edible. But if you use some of the flavors directly with the cream does not pass through the heat. So you come to find that eventually, if you are a good cake eater, they will have an adverse effect in your health because they have not gone through the heat. You find that people like dairy creams, but applying dairy cream in cake is really hectic because it doesn't stabilize as the non-dairy cream. And also you come to find that it ferments so fast. And also if you tend to over whip dairy cream, then it changes to ghee and water. So it's no longer cream. Those challenges are there. Now, if I can tell the bakers or the viewers that if you want to use this cream better and have the best of taste, if you use dairy products, try out mixing this and the fresh cream. Then whip it together. You'll get it stable and the taste will be completely different and very nice. Very nice taste. So you'll find that it's like now milk cream all together. But this one will have given the cream stability and structure to stand out very well. Yeah. So I think that is that is as sunk. If you have another question, sorry, you can ask.
So Chef Benson, we have gotten some reviews from bakers. When someone buys the whipped cream, whips it, and then does the application on the cake, and then later on something happens to the cake, maybe
while in transit.
Yes, in transit. Is there a way you can rectify, because your creams, they harden and they start getting a bit
okay, tricky to handle, if I may say.
Yes, how can you
I'm getting your case. I'm getting your views from your clients. So it is actually normal for a cake which is ready for delivery to get an accident perhaps on the way, or it gets a dent when you are handling it during transit. So like you have said, is like, if I may put it, that it is difficult to correct a cake you having done it with Tropolite cream. So the cream for correcting a cake should be lighter than the cream on the cake. So that is where now you have a leeway of putting a little bit of water, just a bit of it, then you stir it, make sure that it is soft again, then you will be able to apply your cake. If it's a large dent, then it means that perhaps some of the decoration will have to be removed first. And now you are using a palette knife to correct your cake. Make sure that your palette knife, you apply the cream first, then make sure your palette knife is clean, you dip it in water, make sure it's wet, then push it across your cake on the layer that which you are correcting, and it will come out smooth normally, just like normal. So all these things is a matter of the experience somebody has, and whenever a problem occurs, you should not regret why the problem occurred, because it will give you a challenge on how, when next time it comes, I will be able to do this and that. So those challenges are there because there is a lot of business around and deliveries must be done. So if an accident happens, don't panic. Don't even take it as if, why did it happen? I have not been managed to correct this and that. The exposure to that problem will give you more experience on how to handle such cakes and how to correct them. So it will give you more experience. And the only one thing I can tell people, it doesn't matter which cream you are using, but make sure the cream you have for correcting the cake is softer than the cream on the cake, and that way you will not go wrong. So if it is our cream you are using, just confirm the texture. If it is stiff, add just a bit of water or the glaze. Then if you add it, just stir it to mix it fully and make it soft, then apply on the cake. You are good to go. Just that. It is that simple. Yeah, so I encourage people to get to some exposures, because if you're exposed to a problem, then you will know how to solve that problem, and next time it will be simpler to you. Yeah, I also see people who fear some complex cakes, because a client comes and wants a specific cake with a specific decoration, but a baker comes and shies away, says that I cannot do that one, it is too complex for me, or I cannot. If you accept the challenges, then you gain the experience, and that is how you grow. So that is it.